Prince Edward, known for his steadfast commitment to royal duties, has taken a surprising step back from Buckingham Palace, sparking widespread speculation. His decision raises questions about a possible shift in his role within the monarchy, its alignment with King Charles Roman III's modern vision or deeper personal motivations. As the youngest son of Queen Elizabeth Roman II and Prince Philip, Edward has long maintained a low-profile approach to royal life. This unexpected move, however, marks a turning point, highlighting the ongoing balance between tradition and the evolving demands of the modern monarchy. Many people have asked why now, upon hearing this news. It seems there may be a significant issue within the royal family, prompting questions about whether this step is a way to gain personal freedom from the stresses of public life. Understanding this decision requires a closer look at Edward's life, marked by personal challenges and quiet dedication to royal responsibilities. Born at Buckingham Palace on March 10, 1964, Edward is the youngest of Queen Elizabeth Roman II and Prince Philip's four children. Often perceived as the quietest of his siblings compared to Charles, Anne, and Andrew, this characterization held true for most of his life. His early years were defined by the privileges and constraints of royal life. Growing up amidst the grandeur of Buckingham Palace, Edward experienced both luxury and high expectations. Although the Queen and Prince Philip were busy with royal duties, they ensured moments of familial connection. Edward spent evenings in the private quarters of Buckingham Palace and enjoyed playing games in the royal gardens. However, even during these moments, strict rules of behavior were always present. Edward's childhood was also shaped by his relationships with his siblings, particularly Andrew, who was 4 years older. Andrew's loud and competitive nature sharply contrasted with Edward's more private and introspective personality. Edward preferred quiet activities such as reading and acting, which often led to conflicts with his brother. Royal biographer Ingrid Seward noted that Andrew's boisterousness sometimes left Edward feeling overlooked. These early experiences helped Edward develop resilience and a determination to carve out his own path. As Edward grew older, education became a significant part of his development. He attended Gordonstoun School in Scotland, known for its rigorous curriculum and emphasis on character building, following in the footsteps of his father and uncles. Despite challenges, Edward excelled, particularly in acting and sports. His ability to perform well under pressure proved a valuable skill for his future. After graduating, Edward attended Cambridge University, earning a degree in history. While his academic performance was not exceptional, it reflected his intelligence and diligence. In 1982, Edward followed a common path for royals by joining the military, enlisting in the Royal Marines. This decision seemed fitting given his family's strong military connections. However, the experience proved challenging. Edward faced immense pressure to live up to the military accomplishments of his father and brothers. After just 4 months, he made the difficult decision to leave the Royal Marines. This decision disappointed Prince Philip and drew criticism from the public. However, Edward's choice to step away marked a defining moment, setting him apart from his siblings. Following this decision, Edward began exploring his interests in the arts and media, diverging from the traditional royal roles embraced by Charles and Andrew. He delved deeper into acting and later established his own television production company, Ardent Productions, in 1993. Despite his ambitions, Ardent Productions faced significant challenges, including skepticism about Edward's ability to succeed without relying on his royal status. Meanwhile, Edward's personal life flourished. He developed a relationship with Sophie Rhys-Jones, a public relations professional he met at a charity event. Their relationship grew gradually, and they were married on June 19, 1999, at St. George's Chapel, Windsor Castle. Unlike the grand weddings of his brothers, Edward and Sophie opted for a more understated ceremony, reflecting their preference for a relaxed and intimate event. Edward and Sophie balanced royal duties with family life, raising their two children, Lady Louise Windsor and James, Viscount Severn. As parents, they aimed to give their children as normal a life as possible, shielding them from the intense media spotlight. Over the years, Edward and Sophie dedicated themselves entirely to serving the crown, leaving behind private ventures. They earned public respect for their commitment and steady approach to royal responsibilities. After Prince Philip's death in 2021, Edward assumed the title of Duke of Edinburgh and took on many responsibilities associated with the role. He dedicated himself to continuing his father's legacy, particularly through the Duke of Edinburgh's Award Programme, which empowers young people through personal growth and community service. As the monarchy evolves under King Charles Roman III, Edward and Sophie remain steadfast in their roles, navigating the balance between tradition and modernity. Their quiet resilience and dedication have earned them the trust and respect of the public, positioning them as key figures in the future of the royal family. The monarchy's need to modernize and streamline its operations created challenges in balancing tradition with modern relevance. This became increasingly difficult amidst heightened public scrutiny, shifting cultural norms, and further scandals involving other royals. Against this backdrop, Prince Edward's role became pivotal both as the Duke of Edinburgh and as a stabilizing presence within the family. When Edward officially became the Duke of Edinburgh in March 2023, it fulfilled a long-held wish of both his late father, Prince Philip, and Queen Elizabeth Roman II. This significant moment marked Edward's commitment to carrying forward his father's legacy, while solidifying his evolving role as a key figure in the royal family during a time of profound change and uncertainty. The title carried deep emotional significance, symbolizing both Philip's heritage and Edward's steady rise within the monarchy. The decision to grant him the dukedom took longer than expected, as King Charles reportedly wanted to reserve the title for his granddaughter, Princess Charlotte. Ultimately, the choice reflected Edward's unwavering dedication to the monarchy. This event not only marked a personal milestone for Edward, but also publicly acknowledged his contributions to maintaining the royal family's stability during challenging times. As the new Duke of Edinburgh, Edward prioritized the Duke of Edinburgh's Award, one of the most recognizable global initiatives associated with the crown. Under his leadership, the program expanded its reach to engage more young people worldwide, focusing on personal growth, community service, and outdoor activities. Edward demonstrated his commitment by visiting schools and meeting participants across the globe. His ability to connect with young people resonated strongly, showcasing a unique blend of royal gravitas and approachability. His efforts also brought increased attention to Sophie, now the Duchess of Edinburgh. Her work championed women's rights, combated sexual abuse, and supported children with disabilities. Together, Edward and Sophie established themselves as one of the monarchy's most dependable pairs, embodying a model of service marked by humility, collaboration, and dedication to their causes. Despite their exemplary roles, the monarchy continued to face significant challenges and scrutiny. Each new story involving the royal family attracted immense public attention, whether related to Prince Andrew's scandals or the ongoing issues surrounding Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. While Edward and Sophie maintained a low profile, they still found themselves under the public eye. One area of interest was their decision to step back from Buckingham Palace and focus on their residence at Bagshot Park. Buckingham Palace, long a symbol of the monarchy's enduring power, became a subject of speculation about its future after the departure of such a prominent royal couple. However, this move was not a rejection of royal life for Edward, but rather a way to balance his responsibilities with a more family-oriented existence. Bagshot Park, a sprawling estate, provided Edward and Sophie with privacy and security. For Sophie, It was a safe environment to raise their two children, Lady Louise Windsor and James, Earl of Wessex. For Edward, it was a setting that allowed him to harmonize his public duties with his roles as a devoted husband and father. This decision aligned with King Charles's broader vision of a streamlined monarchy aimed at modernizing the institution and reducing its financial burden on taxpayers. Edward's approach exemplified a careful balance between upholding tradition and embracing change. This shift also mirrored broader transformations under King Charles's reign, as royal duties became more practical, emphasizing agility and responsiveness. These changes presented Edward with both opportunities and challenges. His steadfast commitment to his role made him a valuable ally to the king. However, evolving expectations placed new pressures on Edward and Sophie, complicating their responsibilities. Nevertheless, Edward navigated these shifts with resilience, adapting to the demands of a modern monarchy while remaining rooted in the values that had long defined his service. Over the years, Edward's early struggles, such as leaving the Royal Marines and facing criticism for his work in media, shaped him into a prince who understood the importance of humility and persistence. His friendly personality and genuine interest in others made him stand out. His visits to schools and community centres as part of the Duke of Edinburgh's award showcased his ability to connect with people, making them feel valued. Sophie's advocacy on issues such as education and gender equality further demonstrated the potential for meaningful change through their royal platform. Together, Edward and Sophie exemplified a modern approach to royal service, focused on substance over spectacle and teamwork over independence. Despite their successes, public trust in the monarchy continued to waver, and debates about its role in modern Britain intensified. For Edward, these discussions were deeply personal. He understood that the monarchy's future depended on its ability to evolve while remaining true to its core values. As King Charles Roman III worked to modernize the institution, Edward's quiet leadership and willingness to take on responsibility made him an essential ally. His ability to connect with people on a personal level further strengthened the monarchy's relevance. Edward's decision to focus on Bagshot Park did not mean stepping away from his royal duties, but rather rethinking how to balance public service with personal needs. This thoughtful approach highlighted his dedication to the crown while emphasizing the importance of family. Together with Sophie, Edward represented a new chapter for the monarchy, one that prioritized authenticity, service, and connection over spectacle. Attending Duke of Edinburgh's award events or working with community groups, Edward showed a commitment to service, often when no one was watching. He wasn't simply fulfilling his royal duties. He was living out his belief in the power of service and connection to change lives. Despite all he had accomplished, Edward was very aware of the challenges that came with being a prince. He couldn't escape the weight of public expectation, the constant scrutiny of the media, and the pressures of upholding an institution that had existed for centuries. However, he faced these challenges with the strength that came from experience. Edward had learned to handle difficulties with grace and determination, whether from his time in the Royal Marines as a young man or the criticism he faced while working for Ardent Productions. As the monarchy looked toward the future, Edward's approach showed how adaptability and quiet persistence could lead to lasting strength. His ability to remain committed to the crown, even when personal and professional challenges arose, underscored how special he was to the royal family. At a time when the government was grappling with unprecedented problems, Edward's steady presence provided the public with a sense of security and continuity. Edward's story may have revealed something even more significant about the modern monarchy. It wasn't about grandeur or spectacle, but about how well it could connect with people on a personal level. He believed the monarchy was important because it could inspire, serve, and evolve with the times. This wasn't just a strategy for Edward. It was a deeply held belief. As he grew accustomed to this new phase of his life, the question of what he would leave behind became increasingly important. Would people remember him as a quiet reformer who upheld the monarchy's ideals while recognizing the need for change? Or would the more attention-grabbing actions of other royal family members overshadow his contributions? Only time would tell, but one thing was certain: Edward's journey was marked not by dramatic gestures but by a consistent dedication to duty, family, and service. In many ways Edward's life mirrored the monarchy itself, deeply rooted in history yet constantly evolving to meet present needs. Through his actions he demonstrated a delicate balance between tradition and progress. By stepping away from Buckingham Palace and focusing on the Duke of Edinburgh's award, Edward sought this balance not just in his royal duties, but in his personal and professional life as well. As the Duke of Edinburgh, Edward's role within the royal family would naturally evolve over time. The things he did, both publicly and privately, would always be a reminder of the ideals his parents instilled in him and the lessons he learned from living a royal life for so many years. Even though the future of the monarchy remained uncertain, Edward's journey showed how it could become an institution that was both grounded in service and attuned to the needs of the people it served. That's the end of today's video. If you've made it this far, be sure to watch more videos on the channel.